Good evening and welcome to another video tutorial on understanding body language, liars, cheats and happy feet. So, this evening I've got a cracker of a video for you by somebody called Sheen. Now, I'm sure all you fans watching out there will understand who Charlie Sheen is and all about his rise and fall over the last, say, 5-6 years. So he's just done an interview on ABC News, explaining his actions and stuff like that. So I've got to thank ABC News for the video I'm covering today. So let's start the video and let's see if we can read Charlie Sheen's body language when he's asked questions by the interviewer. So let's start at the beginning. Let's see what we can spot.
Filled night with porn stars. Your anger and your hate, I think, is coming off as erratic to people.
Passion, my passion. It's all
Okay, your passion
yes.
is coming off as erratic
Right,
to people.
well, did you borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it, unplug this bastard, yeah, because it fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular terrestrial realm.
I think some of the...
Goodness, blimey, I don't even know where to start on this analysis of Charlie Sheen. First things first, he's all over the place. I mean, this is like a serious interview. We can see the lack of pupil dilation by this lady here. So she's taking her pupils are very constricted, so she's taking this very seriously. And Charlie Sheen just pretty much...
Did you borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it, unplug this bastard, yeah.
So look at the illustrations he's using there.
It fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular terrestrial realm.
I think some of those things that you're putting out there are making people think something's wrong with you.
That's up to, that has nothing to do with me, really. I mean, they're entitled to, I suppose, interpret stuff as they must.
Some
I'm a doctor of.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
There we go. Okay, so distancing himself. Obviously, he knows full well what bipolar means. Bipolar is a medical condition, often referred to sometimes as manic depressants. I work in the field of mental health, so I do a lot of work with people who have bipolar depression. And by Charlie Sheen distancing himself, and look at the expression he's got there. Okay, we've almost got furrowing of the brows, eyebrows going down. We've got anger. So he's trying to distance himself by being naive to understand what actually being bipolar means. So he never actually answers the question here. Also, his interesting point is he's smoking during the interview as well. So Charlie Sheen is not taking this interview very serious at all. So he can use smoking as a way to get out of things because he can inhale smoke when he's asked difficult questions. If you see any kind of interviews that involve any kind of props or additional aids to create barriers, we use them at times when we feel we need the most security. And Charlie Sheen smoking here, he's got a great way of releasing his stress and his anxiety through his cigarette. So if I was going to be interviewing Charlie Sheen, I'd make sure he'd have nothing in his hands that can be a distraction to him and the interviewer.
You're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you know, you're on two ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine?
Okay, there we go. So obviously if you do suffer with bipolar depression, it can be helped with medication and things like that. Charlie Sheen is distancing himself from all this. So potentially the remedy for bipolar depression, which he's being accused of having at the moment, or suffering from, I should say.
What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Okay, so he changes the topic with a great slight change of word usage there. So he distances himself from actually talking about his feelings, which his lady's inviting him to do live on TV. So he distances himself by using a phrase called by winning, which has got really no real, it's not really relative or specific to what the question the lady asked. So again, he's distancing himself from the interview and also the question as well, which is pretty ironic really, considering how he's smoking. So in essence, he should be able to open up more, but because he's smoking, he's taking this quite jocular and light-hearted, where in fact he should be taking it seriously, because this is a good time for Charlie to explain his actions in a professional manner, but he's choosing not to, which again is quite sad for the guy really. But let's keep watching.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what? If I'm bipolar, aren't there moments where a guy like crashes into like in the corner like, oh my god, it's all my mom's fault? Shut up. Shut up.
So there you go. So he's claiming there that if you suffer with bipolar depression or you have depression, you should just basically just get over it. You know what I mean? Look at his reactions there.
It's all my mom's fault. Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, so he's undervaluing people with bipolar depression there, which I can imagine a lot of people hate him for this. You see, because it's depression's a serious illness, and a lot of people unfortunately suffer from it. But what Charlie Sheen's doing here is he's distancing himself from it and almost making fun of it, which again is not the right way to go about it.
It's like in the corner, like, oh my God, it's all my mom's fault. Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
Have you had any celebrities reach out to you to try and help you?
Yeah, like radical people like Sean Penn and Mel Gibson and Colin Farrell and just radical people, and they're not telling me what to do.
Who gave you the best piece of advice?
So it's almost like he's proud of his recent downfall. I mean, Charlie Sheen's a very famous man. I mean, his decline over the last maybe 6 months has been well documented in America and certainly over here in Great Britain. But it almost to me looks like he's proud of it at the moment, and it's quite worrying to see really, because as soon as we start becoming proud of our misdemeanors and our negative actions, it sets the wrong tone. And I think Charlie here is actually quite proud of his.
People like Sean Penn and Mel Gibson and Colin Farrell and just radical people, and they're not telling me what to do.
Who gave you the best piece of advice?
Well, they didn't give me any advice, and within that, there's great advice. It was just love, and so just to see. It's oftentimes says unknown, but occasionally, a giant marquee name comes through on your caller ID, and it's like winning.
When was the last time you used?
I use a blender. I use a vacuum cleaner.
So he's not taking this interview very seriously at all, and we can see by the frustrated micro expression the interviewer is giving here. Obviously, she's trying to get through to him to talk about this openly, honestly to his fans who have been waiting a long time for this particular kind of interview. However, he's just making this lighthearted and fun, and it's not good for Charlie.
I use a blender. I use a vacuum cleaner.
Which is frustrating because he knows exactly what she means, and he's distancing himself from it. You see, to make it lighthearted. Charlie Sheen's done a lot of roles where he's like played as the comedy fool, like in 2.5 Men and the Hot Shots films. But now isn't the time to mess about.
Household items. When was the last time I ingested or took drugs?
Yes, when was the last time you took drugs?
Such an AA stupid expression or term. I don't remember.
There we go. Now then, do you believe that? Do you really believe he doesn't know when he last took drugs? Let's have a look at his illustrators there, using expressions there.
It's an AA stupid
Let's just have a look at his wordage here.
I don't remember. I do not remember.
A week ago, 2 weeks ago,
Maybe a month
2 days ago.
6 weeks. I don't know. It was a couple days before the suits rolled in and said, change everything. We're shutting you down.
Tell me about the last time you took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive.
What are we talking about? How much?
So at the moment, he's looking almost like he's got proud. When people talk about their drug problems, they'll see shame, and you will see shame and guilt fleet all across their face. We don't see this with Charlie Sheen.
You took drugs.
The last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive.
So there you go. So look at his head positioning when he says more than anyone can survive. So he's looking for a reaction there, and he's looking for her to smile at that one, but it ain't gonna happen.
Anybody could survive.
There you go. So he juts the head forward, and look at that eye glare there he's making there. So again, he's not good. He's not good. He's almost as proud of his accomplishments.
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
So there you go. Again, proud. No good.
Because I'm me. Because I'm me. I'm different. I just have a different constitution. I have a different brain. I have a different heart. I have a different, I got tiger blood, man.
You don't worry that you're going to die when you take that many drugs?
Dying's for fools.
So again, distancing himself from the consequences there. That ain't no good. I hate to say this, and I hate to say this on video in front of a mass audience of YouTube, but if you ever get a chance, if you know who Amy Winehouse was, she had a very similar problem with drug addiction over the years, and look what happened to Amy Winehouse. If Charlie Sheen is so proud, and it's coming through on this video of his accomplishments with his drug abuse, that he's so proud of it, then I hate to say it, but give this guy 2 or 3 years on his current climb at the moment and his drug abuse and stuff like that. Well, I don't want to say the consequences, we all know, but it's not looking good for Charlie at the minute. If this is a recent interview, then it's not
Gonna
looking
die
good.
when you take that many drugs.
Dying's fools.
Distancing language.
But you're
Dying's
only
forever.
human.
Now, there's certain blends I will not entertain because that's how people go down. I'm too smart to do that.
So he says he's too smart to. He's obviously talking about experience with other kinds of drugs. So he's saying he's smart, but the really smart thing here would just be try and get yourself as clean as possible and trying to live your life and have regrets and things like that. But what he's doing here, he's not having the regrets. He's almost like he's proud of it, which again is very sad. Very sad.
I'm too smart to do that. So, I'm sorry for the guys that happened to, but you should have read the directions before you showed up at the party.
So you actually have a strategy about how you take your drugs?
No, I just have a couple of rules. I don't know if it's a strategy.
You're clean right now.
Sure.
So is this better?
That's true. It's got a nice one.
Your life now, clean with your children.
Yeah,
is
no,
it better
perfect.
than
It's not
being
better.
on drugs?
It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. No, it doesn't compare. They're whole different realities.
Okay.
There's great things about both, but what I'm harnessing now is absolute, focus.
So now we've gone to Charlie to being better in this interview, where he stops joking around. He stops using big illustrators with his hands all over the place. We're actually seeing a side to Charlie Sheen, which we should see all the way throughout this interview. So I think he's settling down a bit here, which is good.
Is absolute.
We're seeing head shakes, we're seeing movements, facial expressions, eyebrows.
I've come back from a
These are
place
better.
that,
These
people
are better
can
from
put labels
Charlie.
on it and they can figure all this stuff out. They can try to normalize it, boring, stupid, and that's fine. But for me, it's I've just answered to a higher calling, and it happened in the blink of an eye, and I'm totally excited by it.
Are you worried you're going to relapse?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not going to. Period. The end.
There you go. Okay, so he's not giving us a reason why he isn't going to relapse. He's just saying a few small statements there, which we hope we can believe in. But again, he's given us no hard evidence to say how he's going to go about this, timelines, how he's felt, how he's going to feel.
Because I'm not going to. Period. The end.
But how do you
I blinked and I cured my brain. That's how. Everybody has the power, just because everybody here, Kant is the cancer of happen. Kant is the cancer of happen.
Okay, so again, so he's using things like oxymorons here. It's a real shame for Charlie at the minute.
Kant is the cancer of happen. I can't do it. The Nike slogan doesn't say, just try it. Oh, okay. Just try it. No, just do it, man.
So again, we've slipped back. Charlie slipped back to how he started off this interview. He's all over the place. He's paraphrasing. His eyes are all over the place. His gestures are all over the place.
I mean, what's not to love?
Here we go. This is the big problem, because obviously Charlie Sheen's partying habits are well documented with the drugs, and the porn stars and things like that, which again he's showing he's proud of.
See how I party, man. It was epic. The run I was on made Sinatra, Flynn, Jagger, Richards, all of them just look like, droopy-eyed, armless children.
Let me pause it right there again. So he just highlights and illustrates what I've just said throughout this interview. We're seeing him proud of his behaviour, proud of his accomplishments, and he's almost proud of how people perceive him now, you see, as this drug-riddled party animal. Not good at all.
Look back at the last time you used drugs. Are you disgusted with yourself, or do you think, how could I have done that?
I'm proud of what I've created. It was radical.
You're proud of that party moment?
There you go.
Of course. Why wouldn't I be? No.
There you go. So crazy enough. I've seen this interview once. I only got about this halfway in. I try and not watch these, so I can actually analyse what I see and unrehearsed. Again, what she said there is very true. It's all great. It's all proud of his accomplishments, which is so ridiculous.
I expose people to magic. I expose them to something they're never otherwise going to see in their boring
He's just going on about gibberish about exposing people to magic. He's not using relative terms. He slipped back into how he was at the start of this interview. A real shame for Charlie Sheen.
Them to something they're never otherwise going to see in their boring, normal lives, and I gave that to them. I may forget about them tomorrow, but they'll live with that memory for the rest of their lives, and that's a gift, man.
One of the women said that she was afraid she might OD. One of the women who was here.
What's that got to do with me?
You're showing
again,
them the
distance
party.
himself from the consequences, not on his health, but from other people.
And
if he's using drugs in parties, then there's got to be a dealer present. Obviously, it snowballs, and he's distancing himself away from it.
I'm sorry.
So it's all about choices. What he's saying there is about choices with other people. It's the same choice that Charlie Sheen could or could not make. So
you say that you like the feeling of being on drugs, and it's exciting and fun.
Not anymore. It bored the hell out of me after a while. I was like, okay, let's try something else.
How can...
So let me end the interview there. So there we go. So that's Charlie Sheen covered Understanding Body Language, Lies, Cheats and Happy Feet. I really like Charlie Sheen. I think he's a good guy. But the minute this whole drug drug thing is getting out of control. I don't know if you know who Amy Winehouse was, but she died very recently in Great Britain from drug problems and alcohol problems and things like that. And I'm afraid to say that by the looks of things, Charlie Sheen, from years of drug abuse and stuff like that, had taken his toll on how he is at the moment, which is a great shame. But I'm a big fan of Charlie, and I hope you make it, brother. I'm rooting for you. So there you go. So that's another video done by myself, CJB. Please check out my other videos. I do a lot of work on Michael Jackson, other celebrities. Any feedback is welcome. So from everyone here at Body Language, take care and bye-bye for now.